Good afternoon, everybody. This is probably the best time to come in for some education because you can have a cocktail afterwards if you haven't started already. So my name is Neil McKenzie. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing here at Universal. Thank you guys for coming. I've seen a few faces repeatedly today, which is great. We enjoy that. This is the Learning Center. We have a number of different educational sessions throughout the week here at Universal. If you've signed up for them, if you've missed any, that's okay. We do record them all. So if you do want to sign up for ones you know you may not even get to make, you can do so and we'll send you the recording. So take advantage of that. They cover off on a number of different topics that range from a number of different areas that can, I think, benefit your business. And there's usually some great questions and conversations. So take advantage of that. Here at Universal, we have a lot that you can take advantage of as well. The showroom is 115,000 square feet. There's a ton of product to see. On floor 3, we have our latest introduction with Coastal Living Magazine. We also have our 2 in-stock, in-line collections with them, as well as outdoor. On floor 2, we have our collections with Miranda Kerr. Both are in stock. And then on the ground floor, which you're on here, you have our special order upholstery program, which is shipping in 6 to 8 weeks. And it is so easy to see anything. Just check in at the front desk afterwards, and they will be able to send you on your way. And then everything in the showroom has a little tag on it, and they can send you off with a little scanner, so you can scan everything that you see. You can build the wish list of your dreams. And then when you check out, just hand that scanner back to the front desk and you get an email with everything that you scan. So it should make your shopping enjoyable and easy, and you don't have to reference a lot of different pictures. So also on the ground floor, we have our Designer's Lounge, which has a number of different amenities and activations this week, including some Bubbles mixologist sessions happening tomorrow. We have the beauty bar in there, so if you need a hair touch-up before you hit the town tonight, please feel free to stop in. They do stop at 6. And then we have some wine tasting taking place in the lobby, specialty cocktails afterwards with some heavier d'oeuvres. So if you want to stay and grab a snack and have a drink, please feel free to do so. So thank you for being in here. We're so excited to have Sandra Funk back here in the Learning Center. Sandra always draws a crowd. And if I'm sure a lot of you follow Sandra on social media, and she's just got such a great personality, great insight into what she's doing, and I'm sure you guys will leave here learning something and having a good time at that. So without further ado, I'll let Sandra take it away. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Neil. Thank you, Universal. Incredible that they have this dedicated to education for designers, right? Let's do that for Universal. All about helping each other and making this industry better and better and better, and Universal's playing a huge role in that. Also, can we give another round of applause to In Stock? Because God knows we need it. Thank you. Such good stuff. Awesome. All right, you all. I'm Sandra Funk, and you are in the right place. How to become a wildly in-demand designer. So we don't want to be like wanted. We don't want to be like liked. We want to be wildly in demand, right? We want our pipeline to be busting at the seams with incredible, amazing potential clients. So this is a behind-the-scenes look at how to attract and retain kind whales. And you may be like, the heck is a kind whale? Well, kind whales are my nickname for my ideal client. And so it's a really deep dive into who do I work with best, who's most, gives me most profitability and joy, right? They're good for my portfolio, they're good for my pipeline, they're good for my referral base, all the things. So today we're really going to focus on making sure that your firm is in tip-top shape when that ideal client comes walking through your door. Make sense? Well, let's do it. Like I said, thank you, Neil, Mary, and the entire Universal team. You guys are killer, and it is my honor to be here always. So the question that I want you to be asking yourself while we're getting going on this is, how would your business transform if you had unending dream clients just begging to work with you, right? Can we all take a minute and just think through, what does it look like, right? Now you pick the project instead of interviewing and hoping to get the project, you know? You decide if you do fewer larger projects or if you do a whole bunch of little tiny jobs that are just quick and easy and whatever, you do you, right? Whatever works best for you. If you had unending dream clients knocking down your door, you would have all those choices. So today my goal is to show you why it's important to make the shift from overworked and underappreciated, which I have found many designers that I know, to hand selecting those clients, skyrocketing your profits and your joy while still having a life. And also I have an extra for you for being here. It's the only Work with Dream Clients call script. It is an incredible script that really helps you vet your ideal clients. So when you get that phone call, you're not just saying yes to anyone, you're saying yes to the ones that are right for you, and this really helps you get there. So you're gonna snag this by sharing a photo of this presentation at any point today, or all right now, very cool. And send it to your Instagram story tagging at House of Funk Design, and I will DM you with the link to this script. This script has worked for me for years and years and years, and the hundreds of designers who have already used it, we get crazy, wonderful feedback all the time on this. All right, sip of water, take your photos. Let's do this thing. I have a quick win for you before we dig into the meaty details. I'm gonna share with you my method to immediately increase your dream client closing rate. So, okay, we've been talking about this, right? We've got an unending line of clients coming to us, but we want to handpick the ones that we want to work with, right? They give us joy, they give us profit, they feed our portfolio, they feed our referral base. Now we want to make sure that we close the good ones, right? We're picking and choosing. So my method for this is to create a beautiful potential client presentation. So first, what you're going to do here is you're going to outline your potential client's future experience as your client. You're going to walk them through visualizing what it's like to work with you. And you're going to communicate the important points of your design agreement. So this is really huge. You're going to be clear, you're going to be communicative, you're going to create boundaries and expectations, right? The ideal client is one who is thrilled to work within the parameters of how you work. And that only works if you tell them how you work before you sign them as a client. So it's about educating them and setting those expectations. A lot of times our clients want to be a great client. They want to have good flow. They want the project to work out well. They want it to be beautiful and easeful and a great relationship. They need your help to tell them how to be a good client for you, right? They need to understand what are the expectations. How soon do you need a response? How soon do you need a decision? When should we be thinking we'll hear from you next, right? Giving all that really, really helps. So, okay, step one to creating this presentation is put on your favorite tunes. Get yourself comfortable, get yourself into like brainstorming mood. Grab some paper and a pen and your design agreement, okay? Copy of that design agreement and get yourself into like a brainstorming space. Step two is the brainstorming. My favorite thing on the planet is brainstorming. I'm not sure why, it's weird, but it's my favorite thing. So here you have this design agreement, right? This is the outline of how you work. These are the expectations and boundaries that you need to communicate before you sign a potential client. So you're gonna map out the phases of your process. If that's not already in your design agreement, it should be, right? You're gonna add in that most important information, payment terms, timelines, all those things that are the constraints that your potential client needs to know about before they hire you. And again, this whole thing is about setting those expectations and clarifying boundaries to make for a really beautiful client relationship. And of course, step three is make it pretty. We're designers, so, put some lipstick on that pig. The whole idea here is that they're not reading through a 14-page legal document, right? You're hand-holding, walking them through. Make it pretty. Create a slideshow that merges your killer portfolio and your aesthetic, your brand, your fonts, your colors, all of it. Bring all of that to this document. This is essentially, instead of you reading the design agreement or thinking that they're going to go home and read it, because they're not going to unless they're a lawyer, and then you really need to think, is that actually my ideal client? You do you. But let's assume they're not going to read it, and so you can read it to them, and that is a buzzkill like nobody's ever seen a buzzkill at a potential client meeting, right? Or this presentation. Okay, so again, you're going to walk them through exactly what it's like to work with your firm. Why does this work? Okay, and as you can see, this is my cover. We call it the House of Funk experience, right? So it's not called the sales presentation or the potential client process. It's what is it like to work with my firm? Why this works, when you show your process and you walk them through what it's going to be like to work with you, that instills trust. Okay? It also tells them that you have a process, that this isn't just loosey-goosey flying by the seat of our pants, which is how I designed for about the first 5 years. Okay, then once they are your client, they are a dream because you've set the expectations and created the boundaries. They are going to self-select out of being your client if they don't like how you work, right? If it doesn't work for them, they're going to say, oh, I don't like that. I'd really like to go on 12 shopping trips with you and be your best friend. And you can say, sounds like we're not a fit, right? That's a conversation you have before you sign up and work together. It's a beautiful thing. And then the really important part that's like more psychology thing, they are visualizing their new reality as your client. Now remember, you're only giving this presentation to the kind whales, the dream clients that you just can't wait to sign. The whole time you're like, and then I'm gonna come to your house and we're gonna walk through the project step by step, and then I'm gonna, and then you're gonna, and then I'm gonna, right? I'm gonna hold your hand. You're gonna know every step of the way. You're gonna have all the samples and all the details. They are spending this presentation envisioning being your client. So at the end of the presentation, what we envision, what we focus on becomes our reality. They're a lot closer to a yes because you've walked them through this. Okay, let's drink water and think about that for a second, shall we? All right, I'm going to give you guys a tiny flashback into my life, a little bit about me, just so you can know, like, why is this chick talking to me? And keep drinking water. I started with a finance degree. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I had no idea what my business was going to be. I went into business process consulting because I still, when I graduated, had no idea who I wanted to be when I grew up. I worked with Fortune 500 companies to become more profitable and more efficient, i.e. profitable, right? And so that is kind of just how my brain thinks and works. And then I started taking design classes at Parsons in New York City for web usability project that I was working on, fell down the design rabbit hole. Eureka, I had found the thing, right? So I worked for other designers for about 5 years and then started my own firm, House of Funk, in 2005. And I am honored to be featured in national publications like AD Pro and Elle Decor. And I couldn't do any of it without my whole damn fam. I have 2 teenage daughters, a husband I met in college, and a really silly dog. And a horse. Don't ask. Okay. Today, you'll find me literally on the Universal stage again, yay, sharing all the lessons that I've learned and how I grew my business at national design events and workshops just like this. And you'll find me empowering and educating design entrepreneurs with my proven process, the Interior Design Standard. And so this is a great shot here in this room again with a bunch of standard members. So any of you standard members in the room, stay after. We're going to do a group shot again. Yay! Thank you. Okay, so tell me with a show of hands, which one sounds like you? You guys ready? Number 1, you're ready to shift from taking on all the projects to only working with those ideal clients. Yeah? Can I get a hell yeah? Okay. Number 2, you're looking to switch from hustle, 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 right? All the grind, to working smarter and making more money. Sound okay? Cool. I'm not going to raise my hand again because I almost lost my mic and my dress. Number 3, you're ready to stop wondering if you're doing it right? Is there like some of that, am I doing it right? Do I have this right? Is this, should I? Are you questioning, wondering, right? To having unwavering certainty. We like unwavering certainty. Well, I feel you. I was all of those and so many more random little things when I first started my career. So what we're going to dive into today, strategies to become highly sought after, right? That's the goal. That's where we're at. We want that pipeline full of ideal clients just begging to work with us. Action steps to move you towards that goal and how you can fast track that growth. Shall we dig in after we hydrate? Okay, so strategy number 1. You can price your projects so you are abundant and beloved by your clients. Yes, abundant, great wealth, great profits, and clients love it. I promise. It happens all the time, and it can be yours. Early in my career, this is baby Sandra, I hated talking the numbers. I have a finance degree and worked in business process, and yet still was like, it's gonna be like as if I was afraid to say what I cost, right? I was not confident in my pricing. I wasn't sure if I was doing it right, and I couldn't seem to find anyone to help me figure out if I was in fact doing it right. Asked a lot of people. got a lot of weird looks. Anyway, it's okay. I found myself negotiating and second-guessing everything. That lack of confidence turns into a whole lot of wiggle waggle when you're in that conversation with those big whale clients, right? Like I was working in the New York area, the New York suburbs, some tough negotiating clients, and I was not there with my toughness, not yet. Clients found my pricing vague, which is totally awful and embarrassing, and I was working my booty off and didn't have much to show for it. So I had so much coming through the front door revenue-wise and so much going out the back door expense-wise, and not a lot of profit left for me. And then I had the dream whale client say to me, I don't want to be nickeled and dimed. So that's like, oh, wow, sorry, Mike. Knife to the heart. But seriously, like, did I nickel and dime you? Like, holy crap, I have failed if I am being perceived as having nickeled and dimed my client. So this was a repeat client. I did their house in the burbs, and now they wanted me to do their pied-à-terre in Manhattan. Yay. And the client said to me, we've gone through the first process, right? Obviously, they're back for more. They liked the design. They liked how it all worked out. He's like, I just want you to tell me what it's going to cost. I will write you a check and go do it. Here are the keys to the pied-à-terre. Go. And I couldn't do it. I did not know how to give him the flat fee for design. He didn't want to be getting the waterboarded with the invoices, right? He didn't want the every 2 weeks chasing down an invoice. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't get there. I didn't know what the budget should be for the project. I felt like I had to design the whole job first before I could really do the budget. Like, I'm talking, this is like well into my career. So I really knew I needed to go make some changes because clearly I don't want my clients to feel like I'm nickel and diming them. And this client had 5 houses and 3 children and multiple careers and was traveling the world. And the last thing he wanted to do was try to chase down some emailed invoice and figure out how to pay me. He was like, I'm gonna wire you the money and I want it done. These are the dream clients, right? So I had to go back and I had to come up with a new way. I had to go think tank this. Again, I have the freaking finance degree and the business process consulting background. I had to stop everything and go figure out rock solid pricing. So here's how you can figure out rock solid pricing in your firm. You're going to use past project data to project the design fee and the budget needed for your current projects. Okay, so if you aren't doing it now, start collecting the data. Track all time on projects, track the total amount of money spent on the project after all of it is done, all the accessories. Keep track of total freight, and keep track of all your, did I say time? Time, and the total square footage, okay? If you're not doing this right now, start doing it. Build one spreadsheet, every single project goes in, right? And then what I do is I make sure that I mention like this is a build, or this is a renovate, or this is a design only, right? Because there's different levels that you're gonna start to come through that data as we go. When you do this, you're able to provide the full project estimate up front. Design fee, furnishings budget, build or renovation ballpark estimate. You're gonna work with your general contractors, trades, vendors to get ballpark estimates, and I will walk you through how to do that, and then tax and freight as well. All right, so when you do all-in upfront pricing, it's like flying first class, okay? You guys, when you take, you give yourself that little bump once in a while, you're like, this is a first class kind of trip. It's our anniversary trip, let's say, right? So you're in the lounge, you're like not dealing with the general public. I can't be bothered with those people. And then you find it's time to board, and you're like, excuse me, pardon me, I'm first class. Sorry, gotta go, right? Excuse me, they're talking to me, sorry. And then you get on the plane, right? You're snuggling into your like big cozy chair, and they're giving you like little zipper pouches full of socks and eye blindfolds, and they're handing you champagne. Did anybody stop at the lounge here and get champagne yet? Well, there's champagne tasting. So right after this, you guys can go over there and have your first class experience. But so you're drinking your little tiny glass of champagne, but the little tiny glasses of champagne just keep coming, right? And you're just like a pig in shit. You're so freaking happy there in first class. You paid for every single bit of that. The socks, the eye mask, the little bit bigger chair, some people running around trying to get you blankets and giving you champagne. That flight was triple what the back of the bus cost, right? You know why they make them walk through first class to get to the back of the bus? It's called marketing. Because you're that smiley bitch with the champagne. They could put the door in the back. They don't. They walk you through. Okay, so when you have pricing that's all in the beginning, you are having that amazing experience, right? You know what it's going to cost. The client decides that they want to pay that and they want to go first class or not. When you do upfront full pricing, they know their value, right? It's your decision if you want to fly first class or the back of the bus. And it's also your clients. So when you equip them and you empower them and you educate them and you give them, this is what it's actually going to take to work with my firm, they can opt in or they can opt out. But the relationship, right? The relationship that goes forward when they do opt in, they're that smiley bitch with the champagne. They're thrilled. They're getting all the perks. They're getting all the great process. They're getting you're sending them flowers on the day that you finish the project, and you're sending them bagels on the day that you got their kitchen. You're going to spoil them rotten because you built it into the price. You're going to talk about that price once up front, and they're not thinking about that price anymore after, right? You're sitting in first class. You're not thinking about what that ticket costs. You made the decision. It's over. Now you're sitting in first class. Okay, that's what all in upfront pricing can do for the relationships inside of your firm. Price in every one of those little details and create a truly memorable experience. So again, I want to stick on this one for a second. What is it going to take to be memorable to your client? That's how we end up with these huge pipelines of never-ending clients, right? Surprise and delight, socks and eye masks and champagne, right? Blankies, people running around doing your bidding. That's how we make them feel truly taken care of, to the point that they can't help but take a quick selfie and share the experience and start talking about you. Okay, take a picture of this one. Rock solid pricing on payment timelines. Again, didn't have this down in the beginning of my career. Sure learned a few lessons along the way. Collect 50% of your design fee when you sign the design agreement, right? And the balance prior to delivering any designs, okay? Your design work is intellectual capital. Once you tell them your brilliant ideas, you cannot take them back, all right? So we get paid before we present. And of course, collect 100% payment in full upfront for furnishings before you order a thing, including tax and freight. And again, freight, we go back to the data, we can project what the freight will be based on past data. And definitely not at cost. You put margin in on freight too for all the rigmarole that goes into the world today and following up on things. All right, so I want to just walk you guys through an example of rock solid pricing in action. So Cheryl went from negotiable to the boundaries queen, which I love that. Cheryl needed help with her pricing model. It was feeling quite negotiable, right? She was like, everybody had a different program. She was having multiple conversations about pricing with her clients instead of just saying, this is what I cost. Are you in or are you out? At first, she wasn't sure about my rock solid pricing strategy, which gets a little funny. She says, I was slightly taken aback at what felt like harshness at some of Sandra's business practices. I laugh now that I even used the word harsh. And that's how far from boundaries she was, that she felt that simple business principles and structure felt harsh, right? That's how far wishy-washy it was feeling for her. Cheryl quickly understood that what she saw as harsh were much needed boundaries and guidelines. So she gave the rock solid pricing a try, and then she received an incredible client referral. So she went for it, that Canva presentation and all, and that's that potential client presentation. And the client said, this sounds great. No joke, this sounds great, right? Contracts were executed, first half the design fee was paid, and my team and I were off and running. The week the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, Cheryl found out that her client had their money trapped in SVB. Meanwhile, she had a design presentation scheduled for the following week. Cheryl said, when I got off the phone, all I could do was silently say a prayer of gratitude for the standard because, holy cow, if this were a year ago, I would be losing my mind all weekend wondering whether or not I would be paid for the work my team and I had done in the past 6 weeks. I've always taken 50% deposit for large purchases. There is no universe where I would do that again because of the standard. It is paid 100% upfront, including tax and delivery from here on in for everything. All right, yes to getting paid upfront, yes to knowing, yeah, thank you guys. Yes to knowing that our clients want to know what it's going to cost, right? What's the one question every single client asks you? What's this going to cost? What if you could tell them? Wouldn't that just like change everything? Yeah. Cheryl needed a better pricing model. She got that and courage to stand in her space when it comes to her payment terms, right? She's no longer wishy-washy. And she is sitting pretty. She has not given away her designs yet. She has been paid for her work. By getting paid up front, she was not funding a project and now hoping to get paid for it. So this is another picture one, if you have your camera out. Rock solid pricing on revisions. This is the language from my design agreement. We provide one round of revisions. We ask that you share all of your input at one time so that we can make edits as efficiently as possible. Revisions can add time to the project depending on the scale of the revision. When you say it up front, before you have the client sending you a text, sending you an email, leaving you a voicemail, putting like some skywriting over your house to tell you what they're thinking, and obviously mental telepathy, right? You're supposed to read their mind as well. We know this. When you have this conversation after they've started waterboarding you with edits and thoughts, right? It's hard, it sounds defensive. It's not the right time. The right time to talk about how you want revisions, when you want revisions, even the communication style, at one time, in one communication, within 1 week of giving that presentation. We all know, certainly, over the last couple of years, things were going out of stock, things were getting discontinued, things were getting crazy. If they sit on a presentation for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you might be starting all over again. That's not efficient, that's not included in the price, right? When we have boundaries and clarity, they know exactly what to do. I go so far as to say to my clients, okay, we're looking at the detailed design meeting for XYZ date. Do you have time that week after to set aside now on your calendar to speak to each other, the decision makers, so that you can have your revisions in by XYZ date? It's here's when we're having the presentation, here's when I need those revisions by, and do you have time in your calendar that week to make that work? Or do we need to push this presentation out, up, et cetera, right? Plan for it, discuss it ahead of time. This changes everything. There's literally no wiggle. They don't wiggle anymore because they know exactly what is expected of them. And they knew it before they signed on to be my client, and they said yes. So once you implement rock solid pricing, your ideal clients will be signing on and raving about you. Again, you're empowering them to make the decision to say yes to you because they actually have all the information. You'll be making great money while having excellent relationships with your clients. Again, they're like the super thrilled first class kids, right? And you'll go into every pitch with 100% unwavering, immovable confidence. This is, I think, the biggest shift for me. When I finally got my numbers and my analysis down and I really started basing flat fees on past data, I could walk into a presentation and say, this is the number that it's going to take for me to do this job. This is the budget that it's going to take. And then I am in like full on take it or leave it mode. And you know the best place to negotiate from is your last and final. When you start at your last and final, kind and confident, that's it, right? They can come on board or not. The only way that you can decrease my numbers is by cutting scope. That's it. Quite straightforward and simple. Oh my gosh, we're at strategy number 2. Are you guys ready? Yeah? Let's do it. You can be a profitable interior designer without feeling exhausted, burning the midnight oil, or missing the kids' games. Do you guys believe me? It's hard. It's hard. Early in my career, I thought every project was too different to systematize my process. I was always totally overwhelmed. I didn't have the capacity to do all the things, and I couldn't even find time to hire help. Like, you know that place of overwhelm where you can't even get help because you don't have time to actually go find that help? So I needed to create my sexy systems. And trust me, you'll think systems are sexy if you get them this locked down as well. So here's how to create sexy systems in your design firm. Say it with me, everybody. Document all of your processes. All of them. Every single one. If you do it more than once, you document it. Refine them, revise them, rearrange them so that they're in the right order. Remove any duplication of efforts, right? Really go through this with a fine-tooth comb and get it clean and efficient. And then make sure that you have the right team members doing the right tasks at the right time, right? Flow. You're also going to template all client, vendor, and trade-facing communication. So the rule of thumb is if you're ever going to send an email more than twice, go ahead and write it once, make it perfect, and then make it available to your entire team so that we're not reinventing the wheel, we're quick, we're clear, and we're all speaking with one brand voice too. Crazy important. Then you duplicate this beautifully clarified system for every single project that you do. And every single project gets that same system repeated. And some projects are going to be a build from scratch and they're going to get every damn tasks. And some are going to be decorate only and you're going to just go through there and complete all the build related tasks and just clean it all up, right? But you're always going to start with the front to back because so much of that is the same for every single project. All right, here's a good starting point. Define the phases of your process if you don't have them defined already. For instance, mine are the potential client process, onboarding, conceptual design, detailed design, purchasing, and execution. All right, we're gonna see Sexy Systems in action with Liberty. She went from stress to snuggles, all right? Liberty came to interior design as a second career after working in advertising for a decade. A big part of what Liberty wanted from her own company was more control over her schedule and a busy mama with a growing family. But Liberty didn't have her systems in place. She didn't have the capacity to do all the design work, the marketing, the customer service, the human resources, the CEO tasks, and document and refine every single process. Liberty went in search of a better way. She used my Sexy Systems to transform her business. She used our potential client process to snag her dream clients. And she added phases to her design process, which her clients adore, since they always know exactly what's going to be happening next. Liberty said, I truly feel like I have the exact framework to build my business in a life-giving way. When you get these systems locked down, it really does change. It changes the flow. All of a sudden, you're sleeping through the night because you know where you left off because there's a checklist, there's a system, there's a process. You're not like, did I send that CFA? Did I request this thing? Did that happen, right? Everything is step by step by step. Liberty needed a system to have more control over her schedule. She got that and happier clients, no more overwhelm, and more time with her family. Once you implement Sexy Systems, you'll be out of overwhelm, able to scale your business, more efficient, and you'll be able to own your boss lady vibes, right? That confidence of knowing that you have it all locked down. So boss lady vibes, I have a 13-year-old daughter and she's hysterical. She said to me one time that I should tattoo boss lady vibes in the inside of my lip upside down so that when I'm just like really feeling like a boss lady, I can flip it down. I don't think this is how I will embody my business confidence, but I am thrilled that she saw that in me, truly. Yeah, she also tells me all the time, do you know if you get a tattoo, you can't donate blood? I'm like, you're sending mixed messages. Just tell me what you want me to do. No. Okay, strategy number 3, you guys ready? Yes, okay. You can be completely irresistible to your dream clients. This is what we came for, right? I'm rattling on about pricing and systems, but this is why you're here. I think you got that the systems and the pricing are really important to getting crazy in demand, right? Okay, early in my career, I was not ready for my ideal clients. I think I told you that sad story. I wasn't getting consistent referrals, and I wasn't preparing my clients for success with my firm. You guys see how now that is shifted, right? I'm really telling them my expectations and how this is gonna work. So I pulled over and created the exceptional experience. Here's how you can do that in your firm. Put yourself in your client's shoes to ensure that they're receiving a 5-star experience. This one is so crazy important, you guys. You really have to think, like, how is this landing for my client? Every single email you send your client, every interaction, every social media post, every little local thing that you do at the local blah, 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 every little talk, every little thing. How is that landing for your clients? What are they feeling? What are they seeing? Do they know what's coming next? Do they know what's expected of them? Do they feel held? Do they feel taken care of, right? Provide clear and consistent communication always, and implement rock-solid pricing and Sexy Systems that always take your clients' feelings into consideration, right? We know by empowering them and educating them with what it's gonna cost, that's meeting their needs. That's the first question they ask you, right? They're already in love with your designs because they're sitting in your space. They need to know, they need to be educated. okay? Implement a weekly project update. This is another good photo. You have to zoom in. So this is a template of an email that we send to every single project, every single week, from the day that we sign them to the day that we do finish photography and wrap the project, okay? Every single Friday, my clients get this email. Hey, hope you had a great week. Here's everything we did this week. Here's everything we're gonna do next week. Here's the overall open timeline of what's happening. And then in this email, I also have reminders and reminders of like what is happening as we go through the project. So for instance, it might say, the detailed design meeting is coming up. Keep in mind, we've got 1 round of revisions within 1 week of that thing, making that revision due date XYZ, and they're getting this week after week. There can be no confusion, right? So your same day each week, making them feel truly important, cared for, safe, and special. Those are the things, truly important, cared for, safe, and special. That is what luxury clients want, okay? And also, the whole deal is that your clients should never have to ask you the status. I had a boss once that said to me, if the client calls us asking, hey, what's going on with my sofa, we have failed, right? So you always have to be the one ahead of the communication on that. Always, always, always. The other thing that's amazing with this is, you know how you get those texts and the calls and the phone calls and again with the mental telepathy and everything? The clients stop bothering you because they trust and know that they will hear from you every week. So they literally set their anxiety down. This works wonders for those highly anxious clients. Okay, here's a question. What does my anniversary gift wish have to do with an exceptional experience? Okay, so I had my 20th anniversary recently, and my husband is delayed, apparently, because I do not have a new anniversary band. But my husband said to me, what do you want for our 20th anniversary? And I said, I could imagine a little more bling over in this region, right? And I was like, what do you want? And he was like, obviously just want to be allowed to play more golf. And I was like, oh, obviously, okay, fine. He's probably with Neil golfing right now. Where's Neil? Golfing? Yes. Okay, so my anniversary, right? So I have this like, okay, I want to do a little anniversary band, a little more sparkle in my life. But this comes with like a daydream of like what that looks like and a nightmare too. So I'm going to walk you through the nightmare first, right? This is kind of how I think it would go down if I left my husband up to his own devices. Picture it. We're like at the mall running errands because one kid needs a dress for a dance and the other kid needs new soccer cleats, right? And we're like scrambling through and going a million miles a minute and we're dragging these kids around and my husband's like, hey, check it out. They're having a sale at Zales. You see a little sandwich board out front? We should pop in and get that ring you wanted. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? We're children with us. We're running errands. We're at a mall. Like, no, I will not be buying an anniversary band under these lighting scenarios. Like, there's no way. Breathe, right? Then I go into my fantasy world. Like, here's what it would look like if I planned the whole thing. But of course, from his perspective, because he'd be surprising me. Anyway, come with me on this one, right? We're all dressed up to go to our anniversary dinner, right? We got car service, we're coming in close to the restaurant, and the car stops like a block from the restaurant. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? I'm wearing heels. We can't be walking. He's like, shh, come on. And ushers me into the jewelry store, right? And there's a velvet rope, and there's really good lighting, and all the things, right? All the beautiful things. And they come in, and they're like ushering us to the back room, and they're popping champagne. There's a theme. And popping champagne and saying things like carrots and vault, right? This is where I want my anniversary ring to come from. Yes, it is. Guys, same frickin' ring. The nightmare and the dream. It's the platinum, diamonds, right? You're gonna get it appraised, same thing, right? Same exact outcome. What's the difference? The experience, right? The experience that got us there. It's right back to that first class example. You can take them from they love your portfolio to completed beautiful home. And it can be a roller coaster of hot mess, right? It can be difficult communication. It can be waterboarding them with invoices. It can be frustrated clients following up on open orders, right? Or you can take them by the hand and you can lead them through an experience that includes, like, you always have their favorite coffee when they come to a presentation, right? You always have snacks because it's going to be a big one because we work on big houses, right? You can send them flowers when they have a major life event because you built it into the budget, right? Build that into that flat fee. Be ready to surprise and delight them, right? Plan for it, prepare it, build it into that system, right? At this point, you send a handwritten note. At this point, you send a little gift. At this point, you check in with them in person, right? Build it in, plan for it. Make them have the velvet rope carrots vault experience with your firm. When you do it well enough, when you really knock their socks off, and again, I'm not telling you to go spend random money. It's built into the fee they paid you. When you knock their socks off at that level, when you go custom and detailed with it, they can't help but tell their friends. And you know who they're friends with? Kind whales, right? They're friends with other kind whales, the other people that have the 5 houses. Yes. Okay, so let's check out the exceptional client experience in action with Julianne. She went from doubt to clarity. So Julianne had her business since 2016. She adores creating personalized, custom homes, no-nonsense homes for her clients. But she found herself second-guessing everything. She was full of doubt. She didn't believe she could charge those prices, get a client to approve an entire presentation, or present just one design per space. You guys ever wrestled with those doubts? Like, you've been doing what you're doing, and you're going along, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't pull this off anymore. I don't know where that little fearmonger comes from, but it happens to all of us. Julianne and her clients were both exhausted by her uncertainty, right? When we're wishy-washy, and our clients are exhausted by that as well. So we knew there had to be a better way. So then Julianne implemented her exceptional experience for her clients. She incorporated excellent communication, strategic pricing, and stopped treating every project like a unique snowflake by implementing one proven process. Julianne and her clients are loving all the clarity. Julianne said, now that I know I can create one incredible design with a single round of revisions, I'm finding that the jobs are being purchased in full with almost no changes. The experience of having a designer that is so confident that she is giving you one gorgeous design, fully hashed out, not a couple of options and a couple of paint colors and like paint by numbers, right? You come at this with a different level of confidence when you design a complete and entire environment for them. And that gives your clients the confidence to say yes to you and to go for it. She was not having these presentations go smoothly. She wasn't getting a full room ordered, a full project ordered in one meeting. Now she is, because she's presenting it at a level of confidence and excellence that the clients really are buying into. Julianne needed to stop second-guessing herself, obviously. She got that and the process to create amazing designs, make more money, and impress her clients. So once you implement the exceptional experience, you'll take your pipeline from famine to feast, right? You're going to knock their socks off. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to keep coming back. You'll figure out exactly what your client wants so you can meet and exceed their needs. You'll be prepared for your ideal client when they show up in your life, right? And you'll build a pipeline full of raving, referring ideal clients. So are you ready to step into your new reality? Yes, yes, I like it. All right, you have 2 options. Number 1, hire the experts, figure out the formulas, document, review, refine, and revise all those processes until they're smooth and implement them. Or number 2, transform your business by implementing my proven method, all templated and ready for you to drop into your firm. What are you guys feeling? Are you a 1 or a 2? You can do this on your own. Of course, I did. It took me a decade and about $100,000 of consultants and experts and legal and just trial and error. Really expensive. Or you can come with me. This is your invitation to join me on the fast track in the interior design standard. And you have a measuring tape to just remind you of that. All right, I'm going to tell you really quick why I created this standard. My business was growing. I had a great team, and I had moved into like an adorable little studio, and we were landing great projects and getting great press. But I wasn't really ready for those ideal clients. I hit rock bottom. I had 3 wonderful clients fall apart one after another. And it was time to look within. So I was coming back from a conference with my dear friend Luann, and I was getting off the phone with that 3rd client who was telling me, we're gonna take it from here, which is in hourly speak, you're fired, right? And I just clicked off the phone. I think it was a flip phone. I think it was that long ago. And I was like, what the hell is going on, right? Luann's done my window treatments for well over a decade, and she was like, this isn't the first one. And I was like, no, this is the 3rd in a row. Like, what is going on? And she was like, well, what's the common denominator? And, like a really cute Taylor Swift song, I was like, it's me, right? You guys know the song. I'm not singing it to you. So it was my punch in the gut, but it was also my catapult to like the next level, because I had to stop and I had to fix it. I couldn't just keep winging it and doing it how I'd always done it and just kind of fighting fires as I went, right? I needed to pull over and I needed to get it right. So I realized I'd clawed my way to my ideal clients, but my business was not ready. I did not have the structure in place. What worked with those smaller projects and those little things did not fly with these larger ideal clients, right? When they tell you that you're nickel and diming them, you've done something wrong. And I considered throwing in the towel, which is not actually an option for me. I'm a third generation female entrepreneur in my family, and there is no way that I was gonna be the one who couldn't cut it. So I was like, nope, buckle down. And my quest began. I pulled over for months to workshop my entire business. I hired all the experts. I created a completely new method to run my interior design firm. And my business totally transformed to joyful again, right? Why we went into this industry was because we all have passion for interior design. We are not on the practical accounting path. We are following our passion, right? And our passion used to give us joy before it gave us deadlines and delays and angry clients, right? All the things. So I'm back to joyful, profitable, and thriving. To a portfolio full of completed projects, like start to finish complete, photo worthy, art accessories, the whole thing. This was like a whole new concept for me, instead of like, and then we'll do the accessories layer. Well, where people run out of money, time, and energy for this is when it really gets good, because we all know those rooms are made in those final little pieces, right? 2, having referrals filling my pipeline, to hand selecting projects. So there's a day in my career that went from me going on interviews to meet with potential clients and like hoping I get the job, to me going on potential client meetings to decide if we were going to take on their project. Do you feel that shift, right? You take that complete 180 of now we are hand selecting projects and deciding what we'll work on next. It is expert level fabulous when that happens. So when I got all this figured out, I knew I couldn't keep it to myself. My design besties wanted to know more, but I couldn't give them bits and pieces since it all threads together so completely. So I created the standard so that I could share this with my people. And if it's all right with you, I'd like to take just a few minutes and tell you what's inside the standard. You guys got a sec? Cool, thank you. I promise there is champagne after this. The standard will allow you to provide clarity with the ultimate design agreement. My whole agreement, banged on by me for years and years and years, and well over 700 designers inside. Price your services for profit in minutes before you design anything with my pricing calculator. Scale and delegate when you take each project through one proven process. This is all the tasks and then all those email templates as well. Provide an excellent client experience with refined process, client-centric mindset, and pricing that clients adore. Again, they just want to know what it's going to cost, and we can do that together. I went through all of this so you don't have to. Like I said, I spent well over $100,000 and months fixing my business. I literally didn't take on another client after I lost those 3 great projects until I had refined everything. And I'm talking about 4 months. I have the proven process now. I've used it and it works, and I've worked out all the kinks. So you can ask the standard members in the room. We are kink-free. There's no kinkiness in our standard. Not only do you save the time and money that I spent to develop it, you also save the years of trial and error. These are the 6 modules inside. Master the tech to catapult ahead, because we know that makes us efficient. Confidently price your services. You heard me talking about that one. Attract and land ideal clients. Scale with streamlined processes. Improve your buying power and trade relationships. And develop your dream team. So I'm going to ask you guys again. Are you a 1 or are you a 2? Number 1, we're going to figure it out on your own, which of course, everybody, you can. Number 2, implement my proven method, all templated and ready to drop in. Okay, you guys, don't tell anyone outside this room. But the standard is open for enrollment right now. We officially had closed last week, but we knew we were going to be here with a whole bunch of you, and I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to be a part of the standard if you want to. That's it. I now want to really think tank and talk through what are you dealing with in your business, any questions you have about what we covered today, all the things.